Wrike Project Management tutorial for beginners. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll show you guys how you can get started with Wrike, which can help you in efficiently managing your projects. So let's get into it. Now, Wrike has some amazing features like their automations, cross-tagging, approvals, Kanban boards, and more. Plus, they also have a mobile application, so you can work on the go. Now, to get started with Wrike, simply head on over to Wrike.com and click on Try Wrike for free on the top right. From here, you want to insert your email address and click on Try Wrike for free. And then you can proceed with creating your account on Wrike. Now, creating your account on Wrike is very simple. First off, you're going to enter your full name and then your company name, like this. Now, after that, you're going to agree to the terms of service and then click on Next. After that, you have to answer how many people work in your company. So if it's just you, you can proceed with that. And then after that, you can enter your department or team. So this is not exactly for your team. Just keep in mind who you're building this Wrike platform for. So if it's for your entire business, this could be administrative. If this is for project management, you can enter that. Now, it really depends on how you are going to be running this. Let's say I want this particularly for HR and hiring. So I'm going to go with HR. And then you can add your job role. So our job role is owner, and then I'm just going to click on next. Now, after that, you can enter your first project name. So let's say this is going to be hiring a new salesperson, like this. And then I'm just going to click on next. Now you can enter your first, second, and third tasks. You can proceed with next if you haven't thought of that already and just forward it along. And then after that, you can add people that are present within your team. You have a few different levels of collaboration. So people can either be administrators where they can manage this particular workspace. They can be regular users, which are going to be your normal day-to-day employees. And then you have collaborators, which might be people from other businesses that are collaborating with you and are a guest in this workspace. So you can add those people. If you don't have them, just click on next, and then Wrike will prepare your first workspace. Now, once your workspace has been completed, you will see a free trial for your team. You can get started with one of their premium plans and receive a free trial, or just continue with the free version of Wrike. Now, on your left, you're going to find your panel where you can search for different items present within the workspace. Then you have an inbox and then assigned to me section. In your assigned to me section, you will find all of the tasks that are assigned to you, so you can focus on your own personal work if you are going to be working in a larger team. Now, you'll see on the left you have your spaces. Now, in your spaces, you have your space settings, you have different types of customizations that you can create. So you have your task dashboard, and then we have hiring a new salesperson over here. Now, within this particular space, we haven't actually built our entire task dashboard widget. So first off, I like to go directly into my first space, and then I can click on these three dots over here and then click on space settings. Now, once you click on space settings, you can rename your first space. So this is going to be Durden's HR, like this, and then I can add a description like this, and then I can change the icon like so, and I can name the project types and the task types. So I'm just going to click on save, and this will just save some of the basic settings for our spaces. Next up, after you have completed editing your settings, you can go into the task dashboard, and you have this particular section to basically get an overview of your entire workspace or project. So these include your overdue tasks, your tasks for the week, tasks you create, followed tasks, pending file reviews, and more. And you have different data sources that you can derive your widgets from. So if you are working on multiple different projects, you can derive your data from multiple different data sources. Now, moving on to our actual workspace or project, we have hiring a new salesperson. Now, for this is a table view, and then you have a board view after that, and then you have Gantt charts and analytics and calendar views. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build on the board view. I find this to be the easiest way to get started with building. You can click on these top sections or which are the categorizations of your tasks. So these sections can easily be edited simply by clicking on these three dots and then click on Edit Status. Now, after that, you can edit it to the initial stage of your task. So let's say this is a particular board meant for hiring a new salesperson. So this is going to be resumes. And then after that, I'm going to create the second status, which is going to be accepted resumes. And then we have our next section, which is going to be interview candidates. And then we have our next section, which is going to be, I'll just delete the status like this. And you can delete any status like so. And you can do pretty much the same thing on the table view. This just depends on your personal preferences. The table view can sometimes is listed in the form of tasks. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that in the form of statuses, and you can, categorize on status basis like this. But it's just a bit easier to build on the board view because you can easily set up the different categorizations that you have. So once I've done that, I am going to go into the last column and then add a new status, which is going to be accepted or shortlisted candidates like this. And then after that, I'm just going to add a color, click on create. And then all of these statuses I'm building as active statuses. Now, once you have completed your statuses that are required for your particular project, the final status you want to create, this is the completed one. And you can just click on edit status, and then I can rename this into hired candidate like this. And then this particular status is going to be a completed status. And whenever you're creating a new status, you have two options if this is going to be a completed status or an active status. So whether tasks in this particular status would reflect that they have been completed or if they have any steps left. So this would be our completed status. Now, after we've done that, we can get started with building on our tasks. Now, in Wrike, you can build tasks and subtasks as well. And you can go into the table view for this. It's really easy. You can just click on task over here, and I'll just add a name. And then I'll just go ahead and go into this particular task. Now, I'm going to enter the status of resumes, and then I can assign it to a particular person. Now, this might be the interviewee or the person that is meant to, hire the new salesperson. And you can set due dates as well, depending on the type of task you have. So let's say we're meant to review all the resumes before the 8th. So I'll just set that as the due date. And then you can also add sub items. So if I want to add any highlight points, or if I am supposed to poach this employee from another firm or anything like that, you can add that. Plus, you also have the add files options where you can attach the resumes, and then you have dependencies and sub items you can create. So sub items are going to be the tasks within your particular larger task. So if you have a large task of shortlisting your employees and you just don't want to build separate tasks for that, you can just build one particular larger task where it just has shortlist, and then within the subtasks, you can add all the people that you need to shortlist from. Then you also have dependencies. So if one task is a predecessor or a successor of another. So if this has a predecessor, you can add that. And if this has a successor task, you can also link those together. So it's easier to know where your workflow is taking the most time. Plus, you also have automation features on the top right. And you can go on ahead and build some automations such as notifications. And you can also get notified when due dates are arriving. You can get notified with different types of text messages. You can also add dates and workload management automations as well. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.